Stevie, special night for the Rhinos on Thursday, wearing Samaritans on the shirt. A great cause.
Yeah, mate, great cause. Big raps to all involved, really. I think the game's changing. I think society's changing as well, around mental health. So really brilliant, and what a great push that it's going to be on Thursday night. Big game, big cause, and I think it'd be a good atmosphere for it too.
And for a club the size of the Rhinos, and for a sponsor like Leeds Building Society to give that awareness about mental health and about Samaritans, and making people aware that they can ask for help.
Yeah, mate. It's a big push. That I think it's going to really help people to feel like they can approach it and feel like mental health's accessible for them to talk about. And I would say that if you are feeling like you want to do it and you're kind of iffing butting, then just give them a call. It's free for people in the UK, and it's a big thing that we're all pushing for people to do. So, that's a big message for all parties concerned. Brilliant. I think as a whole, it is getting better and more accessible. And I think that the more we do that, the more that we support that and push that, the better. It's not just physical health. It's not just how we're training. It's how we are mentally as well. And you can get a lot more performance-wise from it too, from doing things like being vulnerable. And it's not just a one-way street. Like, you get a lot from it too. You can get a spring back from it. And as we know, it can help teams come closer together and work together too.
Male suicide in particular is still a massive issue that we need to tackle. But those numbers have come down, and do you think that's down to the high profile people talking about mental health? I mean, you spent time with Prince Harry, and obviously they've put a lot of time and effort into raising awareness about mental health.
I'd say it's got to have a massive effect, Paul. I think it's got to have a massive effect. I think, from when I launched Mentality, I saw confidence in the fact that musicians and sports stars and different people had incurred struggles and got better from them and found better lives from encountering them and working through them. That's what I saw confidence in and kept pushing forward, because I could see that proof. And I hope that people do look at a game like Thursday night and see that it's just something that everyone's involved in, everyone's happy to push, and it's it's quite nice to see.
You've had your challenge of injuries this year. Do you think that your mental resilience and what you've learnt over the last few years, has that helped you this time around?
Oh, without a doubt, mate. I've had a fair share of self-awareness, self-education, mate, from from the last few challenges with injuries, and practice makes almost perfect. I'm not saying that I don't get frustrated, I don't get down. There's always those bouts and there's ups and downs, but there's one big thing that I've learned, and that's kind of having a solidified sort of framework of values. I know that I need to bear from them values to keep ticking, to keep going, and to keep striving. So, I think that's stuff that everyone could learn from, and everyone could kind of look to do themselves. Obviously, Mentality, we push that message out a lot through the podcast, and we have a Mentality Club, and it's a support network for people to look to do that too. So yeah, it's I've learned a lot from it, Paul, and hopefully I can try and pass those lessons on too.
You warmed up with the boys on Friday night before the game against Catalans. Was that nice to be back out there and get yourself back in the swing of things?
Yeah, mate, it were really nice. It were off the back of a really tough contact fitness session, and I was pretty tired when I got to the change rooms. But mate, as soon as you see the crowd and you see the sort of atmosphere, and you enjoy being out there, and it's really nice to be out there and back in the swing of things. And even better to get that result and see the atmosphere that we had 15 minutes from the end. What an incredible atmosphere, and seeing all the smiles going out of the ground too. It's a nice change.
How excited are you to pull that number 13 shirt back on?
I'm really excited to do it. I need to make sure everything's right and that I'm confident in it. Really excited to get back out there and sort of fit in as a cog in this machine that's going quite well. It needs keeping up, and it needs maintaining, so to speak. But I'm really excited to be back out there and testing myself again.